Demitri Hampton fallen victim to the very kind of senseless violence he so despised.
What would you say that your brother stood for?
Positivity, togetherness in the community. He always wanted to help.
He was just 21, a college student destined for a career in the Air Force and criminal justice, but cut down in a violent home invasion.
Listen to me, do you know who the person was?
I have no idea. They came in with masks and guns, and they was just yelling.
Dimitri's family shares their heartbreak with our special legal correspondent, Amy Dash.
He was lifeless. He was like laying there. And look, I couldn't believe it. How the hell, excuse me, God, how would someone take someone's life like that?
Do you think that this was random, or do you think your house was targeted?
Eric had hit the lotto a couple of times, so they thought the money was in there.
Eric Walker, Letitia's boyfriend, had hit the lottery. But was there something more sinister that would elicit a home invasion?
Eric Walker himself admitted that he had dealt drugs.
Did he say crack?
Yes.
But Walker insisted his drug dealing was all in the past.
Do you know if your boyfriend was dealing drugs out of the house? This is a rumor.
No. That would make my house a crack house. Nobody was selling anything.
Even police radio exchanges that night confirmed there was no evidence of dealing.
Is this a drug house? Is this a burglar and drug rip?
The history in the call doesn't show any real drug activity.
As for Demitri, there's no obvious reason he would be the intended target.
We don't have anything on him. He was never arrested, no rap.
Really?
With no visual witness identification and an uncertain motive, the masked men in black remain in the dark. But what if it was sound, not sight, that would provide a clue? Police get a break. The teen who hid in the closet during the home invasion said she recognized the voice of one of the assailants, a man she knew as Matthew Messiah Booker.
How did your daughter know him?
I don't know what kind of relationship they had. I just heard that she was hanging out with him.
So did he know where you lived?
He did.
And it wouldn't be long before investigators say they could place Messiah Booker near the scene of the crime.
Police had reason to believe that his cell phone was pinging off of a tower near the home at the time of the murder.
Yes.
Around town, the rumor mill was repeatedly churning out the name Messiah Booker as the killer. Dimitri's mother remembers one tortuous anonymous phone call.
I had the phone to my ear and they said, I can't get involved. The person who killed your son is Matthew Booker. They call him Messiah. And I dropped the phone on the floor. I was screaming to the top of my head.
But there's still not enough to make an arrest until a surprise witness blows the lid off the case.
My name is Onika Walker.
Onika Walker was Messiah Booker's girlfriend. She was there that night.
She spoke about a planning of a burglary that she had witnessed.
In fact, Onika said she even drove one of the getaway cars the night of the murder.
In terms of the prosecution theory, she put the co-defendants and herself at the time, place of the offense.
From court transcripts, Messiah came running to my car. I kind of asked him, what happened? Messiah and this guy were tussling back and forth. Messiah said that he pulled the trigger. He said that he shot him and he saw blood. In exchange for her testimony, Onika was charged with misdemeanor hindering prosecution, but 4 others would face charges of murder and burglary. Messiah Booker, his brother Corey Wallace, his sister Danielle Hall, and Wallace's stepson, Michael Parrish. The motive? Armed robbery. Corey Wallace would rat out his sibling Messiah as the shooter. For Messiah Booker's attorney, it wasn't exactly an act of brotherly love.
What did your client think when he found out that his own brother was willing to testify against him?
As you might imagine, that was a distressing moment to find out that your own flesh and blood is willing to do such an act. I think he felt betrayal.
But for prosecutors, blood is not thicker than a solid conviction. The Suffolk County DA is good to go.
So the prosecutor made you feel confident that this was an open and shut case?
Yes.
And they had all the evidence that they needed to get their conviction?
Yes.
Coming up.
The travesty of justice unfortunately occurred right before my very eyes in this courtroom.
The scales of justice would come crashing down on the family of Demitri Hampton.
You physically fell to the floor?
And just started screaming.
Can you answer whether you hid evidence from defendant Matthew Booker?
But there would be no slam dunk. In fact, the case against Matthew Messiah Booker would end in a bombshell blowout.